There is a place where I can go when I feel low, when I feel blue, and it's my mind, and there's no time when I'm alone. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the 13th episode of the Beatles Song Ranking Project. We are going through what we call the Please Please Me push, and we have pushed ourselves nearly to the end of it. The end being, of course, the final track on the first British LP. Doesn't that look cool with the guitar facing the the camera? So tomorrow's video will be Twist and Shout to wrap things up and change gears, if you will. Fab gear. But tonight is There's a Place. And here are the chords to There's a Place, according to this book. It's a bloody book. How about that? And, I played it. I've already played it, and that's probably the performance that will appear in the video that you just saw the introduction to, perhaps. But I have to tell you that of all the songs we have looked at so far, for some strange reason, this one is the most difficult to assess. And there are a couple of reasons for that. The first one being, in the process of listening to all these songs over and over and over, and never really getting tired of doing that, it finally hit me that, hey, There's a Place is a thoughtful song, a ballad perhaps, if you will, by John, that explores how a very personal issue of finding time to be with ourselves and think about things and think about the good and the bad of life. It's perhaps, I would say, the most personal song from the Beatles up to this point in their career. And the first one that really starts to explore the beauty of, interesting and thoughtful lyrics. And I have to confess that I'm not much of a lyrics guy. I love music. And I kind of don't care what the message is if the music hits me. That's a confession. It's the reason I probably don't like Bob Dylan as much as I should. And I appreciate that and I understand that. But I'm coming around. And recently I decided to add lyrics to the form of evaluation of songs, which is why this song gets a little bump, gets a little push. Please be push, if you will, because of the interesting and thoughtful lyrics. There's a place where I can go when I feel low, when I feel blue, and it's my mind. And there's no time when I'm alone. Now, if we're evaluating the song according to the statistics that I've now laid out, and those start with the first factor, if you will, which is a combination of two factors: melody and chord structure. Is the melody original? Is it instantly accessible and rememberable, that type of thing? As you know, there is a place where I can go. Da 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 da. Oh, I messed up the chords. And it's my mind, and there's no time. I screwed them up. That's all right. Anyway, melody. The melody is, I don't think it's all that interesting. But the chord structure is interesting. And yes, I just screwed it up. But when you go to the bridge, it has that cool, in my mind, there's no sorrow. So that's a C sharp minor to an F sharp 7. And then E, and then it comes the cool chord. Don't you know that it's G sharp 7. Okay, leaves you hanging. It's a very interesting chord progression. And, the verse and the bridge and chorus, that's about it. But so I give it points for the chorus, the bridge chords. Bridge chords. By the way, the opening says E to A. And I'm really not much of a guitar player. But doesn't this sound better? I don't even know. Well, this is a G sharp minor. So really it's a there. And it goes on and on from there. So it's really the opening is G sharp minor to A, I think. Although maybe it's just the bass being played. I don't know. You can sort of cheat with it. I'm going to cheat right now and take a sip of my decaf coffee. From Aldi. Plug for Aldi. Did you know they had Aldi in the UK? I didn't either. So anyway, all right. So not a good melody, not really. I don't think it is. Interesting chord structure. What's the second one? It's arrangement. The arrangement. How is the song arranged for the recording and the Beatles treatment? I'm going to blast through that and say, okay. And then the third one is performance and production. And how are those? Okay. John sings nicely. Production is okay. I take a step back. Let's go back to number 2, the arrangement. I've got a problem with the arrangement. I really do. I just feel like it doesn't match what the song is talking about. There's a Place has this weird sort of, there. So it's trying to be upbeat, but it's not an upbeat song. It's a thoughtful song. It's what I'm looking for, but it's not an upbeat message, so it doesn't match. So, in my imagination, I thought, well, what if they recorded it differently? I know it's blasphemy in the Beatles world, but if you stick around for the end of the video, you'll get to hear an alternate take of part of the song, which is just a different interpretation. As I mentioned in a note that I left on the YouTube page, I feel like perhaps the song may have been stronger if it had more of a all I've got to do sort of vibe, if you will. I'm rambling, I admit it, but I just wanted to give this song a lot of thought in deciding where to place it. I'm going to leave you with this before we go to the board and place the song on the ranking chart. 1 through 13. And that is, I was prepared to give this song a very high ranking, and I was prepared to give it perhaps not a very high ranking. And I spoke to one of our subscribers, and I will say they influenced me. And I won't tell you which way they told me to go. We're going to get to that very, very shortly. Okay? So, thank you for listening to my rambling and having so much fun talking about these songs. If There's a Place was one of your favorites, probably the most you've ever heard it discussed in some kind of forum. So there you go. So we got coming up, we've got the board. We're going to place the song. We're going to talk about the next episode song, Twist and Shout. And we're going to wrap up the video with my interpretation, a little bit different. I know it's blasphemy. I'm sorry. I'll never be as good as the Beatles. I'll never be 1,000th as good as the Beatles. But I'm doing it anyway because I can, and it's my show. And I love it. And I love talking to you. And now let's go to the board. Hello, Rudy. Hello. For those of you who may be looking for Daisy, Daisy is away for the weekend as we get ready to have a big party in our little row house here. But so this is Rudy, the cat, and he doesn't love me as much as he loves his mommy until I have to feed him, that is. Anyway, let's get to the song of the day, which is There's a Place, There's a Place. And for those of you who may be new, here's a review. Every day we add one song to our list of songs. We began almost 2 weeks ago with the song Love Me Do, which now has slipped to number 8 on the rankings, with I Saw Her Standing There still at number 1 for, I don't know, several days, maybe 6 or 7. Misery taking the bottom. The question is, where will There's a Place go? And without further ado, I will say that the advice I got convinced me to rank There's a Place a bit lower than I may have. Just a bit. And so we're going to move Misery down to 13. We're going to move Anna down to number 12. And then we're going to move There's a Place into number 11. Number 11, in spite of the thoughtful lyrics and the interesting chord structure, everything else about There's a Place was kind of a miss in my mind. Anyway, that's it. We're going to go to song number 14 tomorrow. Twist and Shout. All right? So please tune in. And if you're watching this in real time, that is in terms of the dates, or you can just sneak forward to the next video. But we're going to wrap this up, as I said, and give you a clip of me playing a sort of semi-alternate version of the song There's a Place, a little more melancholy. All right? Enjoy. Did you know that there is a place where I can go when I feel low, when I feel blue, and it's my mind, and there's no time when I'm alone. Don't you know that I think of you and things you do go around my head, the things you said, like I love only you. In my mind there's no sorrow, don't you know that it's so? There'll be no sad tomorrow, don't you know that it's so? There is a place where I can go when I feel low, when I feel blue, and it's my mind, and there's no time when I'm alone. There's a place, there's a place, there's a place, there's a place.